once more. Welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast, a platform where we talk about every and anything that impacts our lives on this journey of becoming our best versions. Today on the podcast, I'm honored to have somebody I call my friend, Ifang Akofu. Ifang is a lawyer and he's a friend. He is also the CEO of the Akofu Law Group LLC, a budding law firm in Metro Atlanta. And he is licensed to practice law in the state of Georgia. He is a kind of friend or lawyer you want to have in your side. Probably that's why I have him. He is no stranger to grit and tenacity, which he attributes to his ongoing success. Ifang holds a Juris Doctor degree from the Novo Southeastern Shepherd Broad College of Law in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a Master of Laws degree from the Georgia State University in Atlanta, and a Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of London. He strongly believes you can be anything if you put your mind to it. He taps from his life's experiences to support this assertion. Stay tuned to the end of this podcast episode, because at the end of this, Ifang is going to be sharing with us an experience which he considers a springboard that led him to his ongoing success. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, Ifang, and thanks for taking out the time to talk to my audience.
Hi, Solange. It's always a pleasure talking to you, whether on camera or off camera. I am very, very much honored to be here talking to you today, and I look forward to having this very interesting conversation. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for creating the time. I appreciate it. So today we are going to be talking on specific things, like a variety of things that you've gone through, you've experienced, what your journey has been so far in your business life and again your education life to when you got here. So today I want to start with asking you, what is one thing that you wish you had known before you started the Akofu Law Group?
Well, the first thing is that I wish I'd known that the odds were stacked against me. But even that is okay. It's not easy running a law practice, just as it's not easy running any other kind of business. You have to worry about a lot of things. It doesn't matter how experienced you are running that business. You have to worry about whether you can meet goals. You have to worry about whether you can continue to turn on the lights in your business. You have to worry about whether you're going to attract the right kind of clientele. It's constant worrying. It never ever ends. You just have to learn how to deal with it. And also, speaking about the odds being stacked against me, it's not easy I think the best way for me to explain that is by looking at the demographics in terms of racial diversity in the legal sector in the United States at the moment. There is 55% of attorneys in the United States who are Caucasians, and there's 5% who are African Americans, there's 5% who are Hispanic, and there's like 3% who are Asians. But even within these numbers, there is a very, very minute fraction of African American attorneys who are also immigrants. And that's where I fall. And being a minority, and not just a minority, being an immigrant as well, you have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. So there is that also that I have to deal with on the constant, just like other attorneys like myself who are immigrants and African Americans. So that's minority and kind of minority again. A friend and colleague of mine posted something on social media that kind of resonates with this point I'm trying to make. And he said that Africans must learn that it is the strength of your case that matters, and not the color of your attorney's skin. That's what determines the outcome of your case. So I wish we understand that it's not always about the color of your attorney's skin or whether your attorney is an immigrant like you. It is about the strength of your case. And it's so funny because other ethnicities tend to gravitate towards their own. You always see Caucasians going to Caucasian lawyers, Hispanics going to Hispanic lawyers. Even the Jews do that, the Italians, the Irish, everyone does that. And it's funny that immigrants will want to go to these other lawyers because they don't have faith in their own immigrant attorneys who are trying to serve these communities. And it's something that we must try to desist from. We have to learn to promote our own. And I think that's the way forward. Either way, it's still work in progress. The odds are still stacked against me, but it's a battle we keep fighting every day. Hopefully, we're going to, emerge at the top someday. That's the goal. And that's the dream and vision of this business.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear because, again, you fall under the same. I've heard this campaign. There is this campaign going on, support Black businesses. Again, when they say support Black businesses, this is our own responsibility now as Africans, or maybe as Cameroonians, or whatever, as immigrants, to support our own immigrant businesses as well, right? So again, this is just a call to action, in as much as those of us who are African immigrants find ourselves here, we should try as much as possible to support our brothers and sisters who have started their own businesses in whichever walk of life, in whatever kind of business it is. So again, thanks for bringing that up, and I hope that hearing you say this is going to change someone's mind, and they'll probably be looking at supporting immigrant businesses as well.
Sure.
Okay, that's awesome. And so why law? What motivated you? Or should I say, what motivates you? Why did you choose law?
That's an interesting question. I'll say I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I mean, my earliest recollections of myself, when you're kids and everyone is asking you, so what do you want to be? And everyone wants to be someone who wears a uniform, a policeman, a soldier, or whatever. Well, at some point I thought about being a pilot. I don't know whether I was motivated by the uniform as well, or if it's just the idea of flying planes that intrigued me, or maybe it's the beautiful air hostesses that the pilots walk about in popular culture. I'm not sure what made me think about flying planes, but that was just like for a very short time. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. And I don't know, like a friend once told me, why you always play devil's advocate? And I kind of thought it was true. I was like growing up through school and all that, I was always the person who took side with the oppressed side, marginalized side. If everyone was for this side, trust me, you'll find me arguing on the other side. So it's just one of those things, and it's what I bring with me into the profession now that I'm an attorney. I think another reason why I wanted this so badly is because I love to see people smile. Attorneys are problem solvers most of the time. I'm not saying that all attorneys are problem solvers or all they do is solve problems, but I love seeing the smile on someone's face. I love knowing that, I'm fighting someone's day, someone who's going through like a rough patch, a rough period, and you get to be the person who takes that away from them, that stress or that strain. So those are some of the kind of things that motivate me today. Like when I'm giving a client a good news or like an update and it's very positive news, I love that part of the profession. It makes me sleep well at night, actually.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll tell you that as a kid, I really, really wanted to be a journalist. That was my you wanted
well,
to.
You're doing just that.
I wanted to be a journalist so bad, and look at where I am today. Yeah, this is some kind of it, right? Maybe this is that urge.
Sure.
This is that urge that is kind of resurfacing now, and I'm talking in a podcast today. Who knows, sure. Right? Yeah. So, okay. So what kind of advice will you give to someone who is trying to pursue your similar line of business, or maybe if not in the lawyer line of it, just someone that is trying to pursue a business? What kind of advice can you give somebody like that?
Well, for anyone who wants to do business, doesn't matter what kind of business it is, the rules are all the same. Like the advice I'll give is very general, and it's going to benefit anyone who is trying to do any kind of business. The first thing is that be ready to roll your sleeves and do the dirty work. Nothing good or fancy comes easy. Roll your sleeves, work, work, work. Doesn't matter. Like if I was in construction, I will be the dirtiest person who works in construction. I will make sure I go right down into the trenches and do what needs to be done. That's my kind of idea. It doesn't matter you see me wearing this nice tie and nice shirt. When it comes to rolling my sleeves, whether it's literally or figuratively, I do that and I put in the work. And also, whatever business you want to do, make sure you take time to study that business before you execute. Read all the literature that is out there, that is available for you within your reach. Read, understand concepts, understand the market, understand the nature of that business. And then also talk to people. I'm not saying that when you talk to people, you take everything that everyone says at face value. I mean, if you're starting a business, you must be able to logically process information and know what is probably a good fit for your business or probably not a good fit. But talk to every person who is available out there for you to talk to. People who have succeeded in that business, people who have failed in that business. Make sure you talk to both of them and, kind of get like their various perspectives of what the business is all about. And then when you're ready to start. Don't postpone, don't procrastinate, don't do any of that stuff. I'll tell you something. When I was about starting, I kind of got cold feet, and it's normal. It's very normal that you're like, okay, this is me leaving corporate America. This is me leaving a guaranteed pay, salary or whatever, and venturing into the unknown. What if it doesn't work? Like, what if I have to go back? It doesn't matter. You have that vision and you want to start a business, start it. Naysayers and prophets of doom will always be there to talk you out of your vision. But that's not what is important. You have to confound the prophets of doom. Do it. Even if you fail, pick yourself up and do it again. And if you keep on doing that consistently and persistently, I think you'll be able to succeed. Everyone talks about the end of your journey, like the triumphant end, or the start of the business when there's a lot of fanfare and there's a lot of optimism. No one ever talks about the middle, and that's the lonely road. That's when you do everything on your own and nobody's there to support you. But when you come out successful, everyone talks about how successful you are, right? And that's the nature of things. That's how it's supposed to be. But know that it is the middle that separates the people who end up surviving in business and growing a business and those who are not going to survive at all. It's always that middle. So be there in the middle and do all the work that needs to be done, and fail and pick yourself up and fail again and pick yourself up. But eventually you'll succeed.
That's interesting. I find what you say very interesting because I remember last week I was talking to one of my sisters who is a business owner as well. She makes candle melts, like home fragrances. And she was telling me, like, last Saturday, she was in a market so they have like these group markets, community markets where you go for people who I think most of those people, they don't have stores. So you go and you have a stand and you display your products on it. And I had her babies and she went there. She was like, hey, I have to go to the market. And I just looked at her when I came back to my house and I sat with her kids. In my head, I'm like, this girl started this business. Yes, it has gone out. She has launched it. It looks all nice and everybody's like, oh, wow, congratulations. Nobody sees what she's going through in the background to make sure that this business is sustainable, right? So she goes out on a rainy Saturday morning as early as 8 a.m. to go build up a stand. Her husband helps her build a stand, and she's there all day till 5 to sell home fragrances. One day, I know it is a journey. One thing we always say is to trust the process. Yes, one day she will make it. Her products will be in big stores. She might just have her own big brand out there. And people look at the successes she's gotten to, but they never really imagine or think of what the middle was. So having you talk about the middle there is something that I actually sat and I watched her, and I'm looking at you at this stage of your business, and you're like, hey, you're going there, you're getting there. And so thank you so much for bringing that up. It's something that we never really pay attention to when we look at people and appreciate them, or we look at them and talk them down for either failing or appreciate them for succeeding. We never really pay attention to what they went through before getting to where they are. Thanks a lot for bringing that up, Ifang. So now that we've spoken about that, what are some of the resources that have helped you to get to where you are today? What have you read or what have you listened to that has actually inspired you at this point in your life?
Well, I read this book, and it's been like an eye opener. I've learned a lot from it, and it's changed the way I look at a lot of things. So it's changed my outlook. I read it kind of like recently, and it's like the mantra going forward. It's like the book has a lot of great quotes in it. I'm sure you know about it. Everyone talks about it. It's for PG purposes. I'm going to like change or play with one or two of the words. That is the title of the book, and a few quotes from the book. I also play around with some of the words, just because I don't want young listeners out there to see me use certain kinds of words. But the title of the book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Damn.
Oh, right? Matt Mason.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So the long and short of it is life is all about struggle, and that's what gives life meaning. So it's, in my opinion, a very brutal, honest write-up, and it's full of great quotes. I'm just going to read one or two quotes out of it, which I think helps me.
Share your mantra with us.
In my daily activities with others, the way I interact with other people, the way I run my business, or the way I just look at life generally.
Okay.
And the first quote out of that book is, if you are able to not give a damn about the pain your goals require, then you become unstoppable. And it's very true. You know what they say about no pain, no gain. You ignore all the inconveniences that are in your life that are stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve, and you are totally fired up and you chase your goals with a passion, you end up succeeding. Let all those petty pinpricks, all those small pains, they should not like detract you or distract you from like the bigger picture. Just keep on doing and ignore the pain, and everything is going to be okay. And then there's also this other quote which says, you're going to die someday. Everyone you know is going to die soon, and in your short life, you only have a certain amount of damns to give. And that one too, I kind of like it, you know, like, so
you can't worry about everything. That's the truth about it.
Yeah, so you should stop worrying about stuff, worrying about things that don't matter. Like, for me, the way I look at things now, God matters most. Family matters second. I do matter, of course. And the rest, well, maybe friends and well-wishers and good people also matter. But the rest, I don't care. I really don't care. Like, those things are not going to make me not sleep well at night. That's true. But the things that are important are the things that, I worry about.
You worry about,
and so that's how I look at life generally now, especially. They say when you get into your prime, you start becoming a philosopher. You start looking at things differently.
Which is true. The signs of maturity. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's true. As we crawl towards our prime, I'm beginning to see a lot of these things. I'm just hoping that the whatever they call it doesn't come too fast. It just skipped my mind, but if it comes back, I'll tell you. the lives crisis and all whatnot. I hope it
Oh,
doesn't come
yeah.
to.
There are some things that we just have to deal with and not worry about things we can't control. I'll bet you that you'll be surprised at the number of people who grow gray hair over things that they have no control over.
So,
Yeah, so it's just not worth it. Thank you. You
I
actually
used
picked
to.
some really big good quotes.
I'll tell you something. I used to be like that. I used to worry about the unimportant, the things that don't matter. But once I stopped worrying about the things that don't matter, I feel great within myself, and everything's changed, really.
Yep, that's so true. I agree with that. That is actually one of the things about Mark Mason's book that I read again and again. I also read his book. It's right at the side of my bed. I pick it up and I read. I've read through it a couple of times. So I always just go through it and I read again and again. And I just gather inspiration from his words. And that is so true. I appreciate you for bringing that up. And hey, if you've not heard, if you're somebody that reads, you probably want to give this book a try. It's called it's Mark Mason. The title of the book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Damn, right? So you pick it out. I got mine from Amazon. I think you can find it there. So try it. It's a good book. And now let's talk about, you're Ifang the lawyer, as I call you, right? I call you lawyer Ifang, right? So tell us, now that you are in these shoes, what are some of the myths about your industry that you would like to debunk? I have a ton in my head, so just go ahead and debunk the ones you want to debunk for us, please.
I know the first one that comes into your head, and I'm sure we've talked about this before. And this one goes out especially to all my Cameroonian friends, brothers, sisters, everyone. Please, lawyers are not buried upside down. Not in Cameroon, not anywhere in the world. I know. When we were growing up, like young lads, we used to talk about this a lot, and everyone used to.
I still believe in it, though.
Oh, come on. So I'll tell you what. Just do this one thing for me. I mean, we have a lot of lawyers in Cameroon, and a lot of them have passed.
Yeah.
Just go to their families and ask them which of them was buried upside down. If you find one, come back to me.
Okay.
And then I'll make a public apology, like, for debunking this myth. But
okay.
It's simply not true.
Okay.
Like I was saying, when we were young and growing up, and anyone asks you about what you want to do in the future, and you say, I want to be a lawyer, they'll be like, oh, those people are buried upside down. So you want to be buried upside down?
Yep.
Maybe the curiosity of wanting to be buried upside down also had its part, that its role. After all, I've always wanted to be different. So
maybe that's what made you to want to become a lawyer.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Maybe that's one of the things that played a part in me wanting to become a lawyer. Because like I said, I always wanted to be different. But it's simply not true. I know I won't be buried upside down too. I can assure you.
All right, I've not been honored to attend the burial of any lawyer. I know a couple of that. I wasn't there, so I cannot just support your assertion now. I need my proof. So
well, like I said, go out there, do all the research, and then come back to me.
I'll do just
and
that.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to make a public apology, and I'm going to, put a disclaimer out there saying that this myth, what I debunked earlier,
it's now true. It's now fact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So another thing, and this one goes out generally, maybe not just to our community here in the diaspora, just everywhere. This one goes out to everyone. Attorneys do actually care about their clients. A lot of people think that attorneys don't care about their clients so long as they get paid. It's simply not true. First of I don't know, like in any bar association or any association that regulates the conduct of lawyers. I don't know of anyone that doesn't have a rule that makes you honor bound to do what is in the best interest of your client. I cannot think about anyone that does not have that rule. That's like one of the cardinal rules. You must do what is in the best interest of your client. And it's impossible to do that without caring about your clients. So that's also not true.
Right.
I know there's bad apples out there. There's always bad apples out there, like people who do unethical stuff, not in the best interest of their client. But, that's like the exception. It's not the rule. So the bulk of attorneys are not like that. And also people would say, oh, attorneys, oh, they lie a lot. I remember even my mom, oh, lawyers, those
Like
people
people.
lie a lot. Yeah, like people, like you rightly said. And I also think we've seen a lot of fiction growing up in popular culture where attorneys lie in front of judges, widely mispresent facts, deliberately conceal evidence. In real life, all of that is not true. No true lawyer worth salt would do something like that, because the ramifications or the consequences for doing something like that and getting caught are always very grave. I don't think there's anyone who deliberately want to lose his license to practice law. So a lot of people will hold the line of truth over any kind of lies or whatever. So that's also not true. Attorneys don't just tell lies. Like I said before, there's always bad apples. I know that there's bad apples out there, but remember, that's like the exception, not the rule.
Okay, that's good. So Ifang has debunked three aspects of the lawyer profession. So the first one is lawyers are not buried upside down. My dear Cameroonians, let's get that. Secondly, attorneys do care. And thirdly, attorneys are not liars. So he's debunking what we grew up saying, lawyers are liars, or generally we call them like people. So those are the three things that he has debunked today. Thank you so much, Ifang. I know that I'm taking the first one with a pinch of salt, but I'm still going to work on that as well. And so come on, tell me about, or tell my audience and I about the three most influential people in your life at this moment. Who are three people that have influenced you?
Oh, okay. In this order, there is my dad. His name is John Akofu. And there is Nelson Mandela. Of course, we all know Nelson Mandela. And then there's Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch is actually a fictional character in Harper Lee's book, To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a great book. If you haven't read it, I'll advise you to go read it. And it's one hell of a character. So I'm going to talk about these people, and I'm going to tell you exactly why they have been influential, because these people have had some kind of positive impact in my life, whether directly or indirectly. I look up to them like role models or something like that. My dad is a very selfless man. I mean, I can write the whole book about my dad, and he won't even do justice to the kind of person that he is. But my dad is very selfless. My dad is one person who will put himself at the disadvantage just to make sure that those whom he loves are okay. He will put his personal comfort aside for his children or his family or whatever. And I have been like the benefactor. I've been the beneficiary of that largesse for like all of my life. And I'm a man now with kids and a family, but I still benefit from my dad's selflessness. So that's the kind of person he is. I'll tell you, I can just tell you this with like a short hypothetical. So just imagine my dad and I are driving from East Coast to West Coast in a car, and it's night, and we're going through like the Midwest, and it's all forest and road, and there's nowhere to stop by for rest and all whatnot. And then we come across this little inn. I mean, I know it's not factual, it's not reality, but I mean, just imagine for the sake of this story, just to emphasize the point, or to prove the point. And we come across this little inn, and we go in, and there's just one room available for the night, and we are so tired and we want to spend the night. And imagine in that room there's only one bed, and imagine on that bed there's only one pillow. I'll tell you what my dad will do. My dad will sleep without the pillow, and he's gonna give you the pillow just so that you have a good night's rest. That's the kind of person that he is. So, of course, the selflessness is something I hope that I can be able to like copy and use for the greater good. Not there yet, but I strive as days go by to, you know, think about others and put others above myself for, their own benefit, stuff like that. And there's also Nelson Mandela, right? Nelson Mandela sacrificed his personal comfort for the greater good because he felt very strongly about the freedom of his people who were being oppressed in apartheid South Africa. What a lot of people don't know is that some years into his 27-year incarceration, the government offered him amnesty, and they offered him an early release if he was going to speak ill or try to stop the South African youth from, causing carnage, because at the time they were fighting the oppressive white regime so much. And he refused, and he continued staying in jail for years, for so many other years before his final release in 1990. So it's very hard to find people like that who will, want to continue staying in jail just because they believe very strongly in something and they stand for what they believe. So Nelson Mandela's steadfastness is something that I'm also very inclined to want to copy. And if I have my way, or if I have the willpower, something that I'll try to put into use. And then there's Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch is, like I said, a fictional character. He's a Southern gentleman who refuses to toe the line of his oppressor community. So, and this book is set in 1930, during the Jim Crow era in Alabama, in rural Alabama for that matter. And Atticus defends this peasant African American who is accused of raping a young Caucasian girl. And during that time, it did not matter whether he was innocent or not. The white mob was going to lynch him, but Atticus stood his ground and tried to, see to it that justice was done, because he believed very strongly that the peasant African American did not rape the Caucasian girl. Atticus is actually the model of integrity for lawyers. So I try to be like Atticus. I try not to follow the crowd, no matter how tempting it is. So, like I always say, if I die being half the lawyer Atticus was, I will not die fulfilled.
Yep, that's huge what you just said, right? That's huge what you just said. Yep. That is some powerful stuff you just said right there. Yeah, and again, picking somebody in your career and making it your role model is something that I believe I do it a lot. So I'm the kind of person that looks at people who are where I want to be, and I look at them and I try to copy. Again, copy intelligently, right? So yeah, I appreciate what you just said. That is awesome. And now, Lawyer Ifang, tell the audience, what are the services that the Akofu Law Group LLC offers? What services do you offer?
Okay, so we are a law firm whose main areas of practice are like business transactions, real estate transactions, all immigration proceedings and defenses, and some civil litigation as well. In terms of business transactions, we assist clients in determining the most appropriate kinds of business entities that they might want to form when they want to start a business. We also advise them on tax consequences, and we also do other things like we review corporate documentation, assisting updating minute books, and we also help clients purchase existing businesses, sell businesses, and engaging in other capital and asset distributions, also recapitalizations and business regulations. We do all of that stuff. And then in terms of real estate, we will assist the client every step of the way, from when they sign a sales contract right up to post-closing. So, you typically hear someone says, oh, he's a closing attorney or she's a closing attorney. So we represent the client's rights in every step of the way, insofar as the client is buying a house or selling a house is concerned. And then also in the realm of immigration, it's a belief that everyone who has migrated from a foreign country to the United States deserves a chance for like a brighter future. So we're very passionate about helping immigrants achieve this dream. We understand the immense importance of immigrants having reliable representation so that their rights as immigrants are always protected. Our firm is very immigrant-centered. The work we do is it's all for immigrants, or mostly for immigrants, because sometimes they have like citizen petitioners who are making petitions on their behalf. And we have first-hand knowledge in the struggles immigrants face, as well as the kind of fears that immigrants have. And it's our job to be able to, help them in lessening their fears or in making sure that they are going through the right process. So Akofu Law Group basically is going to offer such immigrants assistance, insight, dedication to the matter, and make sure that, they're able to succeed in whatever thing they're doing.
Okay.
So far as changing their immigration status is concerned.
All right, that's awesome. And so where can they find you online if somebody were to
So we are listed business on Google at the moment. Our website is almost done. It's actually being it's almost complete now. It's actually in the hands of the web developer. I'm out of it now. I've given my own input, and I'm just waiting for their call to say, okay, it's up and running. And we're also listed on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Go like Akofu Law Group. You can also call us on 470-430-8035. I repeat, 470-430-8035. As time goes on, we are going to join more and more social media kind of sites. Yeah, anything that helps promote the business, we are going to be present on that site. And so also for easy outreach.
Yeah, and you're actually located in Atlanta, right? We're in Atlanta.
Yes. Our law firm is based in Lawrenceville, like it's in the metro Atlanta area. It's just, within the metro limits.
Oh, great. Awesome. This is nice. Thanks for sharing that. So, as we are running towards the end of this, I know you had promised me that there is something that you're going to share with my audience, and I made them excited at the beginning. And this is going to fall under, I'm just going to coin this and I put it under, what are some of the challenges? Remember, this is the You Can Be Anything podcast, the place where people come to share their challenges and their successes and their aha moments so that other people can be inspired. At this point, I'm asking you, what will you consider your biggest challenge on your journey as Ifang Akofu? Whether beginning from a baby boy to the handsome young man that you've grown to become, what will you consider your biggest failure or your biggest challenge to this point in your life?
Well, I'll talk about this failure, but like I also said, or like you rightly said at the start, grit and tenacity, those are some of the key strengths I have.
Yep.
And in a way, I would say I'm almost shattering the glass ceiling. Maybe I'm not there yet, but I think I'll shatter the glass ceiling at some point. And this is not me heaping accolades on myself.
No, you need your accolades. You have done the work. You need your accolades.
Well, I think it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't know is that there was a time in my life that was a low moment. I remember, a lot of people, I'm sure people don't know that Solange and I were in the same university back in Cameroon. Or that we were in the same class and we had the same
lecturers and everything.
We basically did everything together. But I quit university with one course left to graduate, one course. and that was like we were doing a BA degree, and that was like the lowest point in my life, I would say. And I went through a lot during that period, but I did not give up. Basically, I did not give up. But even before that, like, a lot of people don't know this story. I'm sure even members of my family don't know this story. But still, my parents gave me a second chance. When I took the second chance, I decided to, do the best that I could out of that bad situation. And it has helped me to, become who I am today. It's like the story about two mice who fell like in a bucket of cream, and one gave up and drowned, and the other one fought so hard to get out of that cream. And he fought so hard that he turned the cream into butter in the end. It's like that kind of story. So I don't want to go into the details of it. The truth is, I did not, like I said, one course to graduate, and then I left university. I left and I just gave up everything. But in retrospect, I think that was like the best decision I ever made, whether I like it or not, because it helped me look at certain things differently. I became more aware and more appreciative of the things that I took for granted in the past. And it also did strengthen my resolve to succeed. Like, after that failed BA story, I went on to achieve all this string of degrees. I have 3 in right now, up to a terminal degree. And you can see well listed behind me. But I was also a regular guy like Mr. X, Mr. Y, or Mr. Z at some point. And
that is so true.
I like I said, I fought so hard to get out of that situation, and the end result is like quite pleasing.
Yeah, I remember when we finished, I actually graduated the year you were held back. And when we finished and I went over I did my master's still there. And I can remember when I was in Germany, when I actually started my PhD by then. And I spoke to you once and you were like, hey, you're in law school. I was like, what? Law school? What are you doing in a law school? So this is us. We both did linguistics at the University of Boya. So we're all linguistics students. I kept on with linguistics through master's and some PhD courses. And called my friend and we were talking, and he's like, he's a lawyer. It felt so different. And again, that's that perspective, right? When we leave home, we know that, hey, because I am a linguist, or because I did journalism, or because I did banking and finance, I am all stuck with it, or because I did sociology or anthropology. That is not true. This is somebody that left Cameroon with a BA that he could not complete because he was held back by one course. That did not mean that he could not do the course. A level 200 course will hold somebody back again. And let's not go into the nitty-gritties of that. But again, he went over to the UK and started all over with law. And today he is a successful lawyer with his own firm. So this is just to affirm the fact that we do not necessarily need to hold tight to what we studied as bachelor's students at our bachelor's degree. When we come into the world, there is always that potential. There is the opportunity. So you want to have an open mind to look for those things that are really close to your heart. Put the hard work. And just like Ifang has made it and is still making it big, so can you. He's not special. He doesn't have any special characteristics that you don't have. So as he has made it, and as other people are making it, all you need to do is put in the determination and you will make it too. Thank you so much, Ifang, for sharing that. You kind of just made me go back to our days as students, and I remember all those days. It just feels like yesterday, though. Thank you a lot for sharing that.
Yeah, sure it does.
And this all concludes if we circle back to the main goal of this podcast, which is to share our experiences. And you, my audience, I'm hoping that you're picking up from all these amazing people that I'm bringing in here to talk to us about different aspects of their lives. So we are not focused on a particular thing, but I'm hoping that somebody out there sees some value or picks some value from what Ifang has just shared with us. And again, one thing that through this interview, something has has been coming to my mind again and again. It is the reminder that we should please support our own. Let's support immigrant businesses. Let's support people who have decided to not work for others, but be able to open their own companies to do stuff. Let's be able to go out to them, consult with them, reach out to them, support their businesses so they can grow. They are ours. They will be more in a place to understand us. It's true, as he said, that there are bad apples in every aspect of life, but it doesn't make all of them bad. Give them a hit. Just like there are store owners who are not the best out there. It's not only in the lawyer profession. In every other profession, there is always something that you want to work towards. So, Ifang, please, quickly give one little piece of advice to somebody out there that you think that at this moment might just need to hear it. Just say something. I don't know what it is, but say something to someone out there that needs to hear your voice in order to get something done.
Well, Solange, I'm not much of a motivational speaker, but I'll try. I'll try to
motivate somebody
without putting on that motivational speaker voice. Well, this is for you out there who thinks like life is tough, like who thinks it's over, who thinks things are hard, who thinks hope is lost, and everything is tough for you. You know what? Just keep grinding. I repeat, keep grinding. That's all you need to do. Work, work, work. Put in the hours, put in the hard work. It does not matter. Even if you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, just keep on working. If you keep on doing that, you will eventually see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what they say about if at first you don't succeed, try again? Well, yeah, just try again. Let that be your mantra. Keep doing the work, keep grinding, and when a bit of luck meets all your hard work, you always end up like succeeding in the end. So true. Please, don't relent in your efforts. Just keep doing what you're doing. It does not matter whether people talk you down. It does not matter whether people laugh at you. Just keep on doing it. Grind, grind, grind. You will succeed. You'll measure progress at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Ifang. Thanks again for accepting the invitation to talk to my guests. I appreciate you. And my dear listeners, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. And again, you can find Ifang online at the moment. As he says, they have a Facebook page. Is that Facebook page the Akofu Law Group? Is that the name of the Facebook page?
Yes, it is.
Yes, please. So find that Facebook page. I'm going to add it to the description of this interview below, so you can like his page, support his business, and please do not forget to subscribe to this You Can Be Anything podcast YouTube channel, so that you'll be able to you will be notified whenever new episodes are posted. Please, again, you can listen to us on all the other podcast platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. You hear my voice everywhere. Just get used to it. And please leave reviews where necessary. I'm also on Audible, so you'll also be able to listen to this podcast on Audible. And please leave a nice review and give us a 5-star, so that I'll be motivated to keep doing what I do, to be able to bring up these amazing people who come to share their experiences with us. Thank you again, Ifang, for accepting to talk on my podcast.
It was a pleasure, Solange. Like I said at the start of this recording, it's an honor to have this conversation with you and to reach out to the wider audience. Thank you.
My pleasure. Be good to each other, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.
Bye.